Okay, hi everybody. UpDownMostly, king of the video reply makers, is asking for a video reply. If anybody deserves a video reply, gotta be UpDownMostly. I mean, wow, what a workhorse, huh? Okay, let's start here. Number one, where were you born? You know what? I've just only recently put my first name out there, and a lot of people put their full name out there. Violet Kitty, she does birthday request things, and now we've got where were you born. So yeah, so if everybody answered all of these type of questions, if the people who put their full name out there also put where they were born and their birthday, I mean, that's getting a long way toward helping the identity theft people out. So I think I'll just chop it off. I did recently put my first name out there, which is Robert, but I just assume people call me Blink. So anyhow, so I'm not gonna. Let's just say I am of this planet or close by, fairly close by this planet. Just one or the other. You can make your mind up. Who was the most important person in your life growing up and why? My dad was in the Army, and we just moved around just a tremendous amount. So I never really developed as many close friendships or anything as I would have liked to. So it was just me, my mom and dad, my brother. So it was like we were, just a really tight group, a tight unit. And so I can't really pick one person. It's got to be all three. It's got to be my mom, my dad, and my brother. That's been the three constants in my life. So I'll just go with them as a group, all three of them. What's your favorite color? This year it's purple. Last year it was teal. I forget what it was before that, but yeah, it seems to change every year. However, I'm not one of these obsessive people who likes to paint their wall a different color every year. That's a little bit cuckoo. And there's a lot of people out there like that. Okay, what's your favorite movie? Or what was your favorite movie? Got to be a tie here. Toss up between The World According to Garp and Groundhog Day. 5. Do you think people have a soul? However you define that. I don't think people have a soul in the biblical sense of the word. But every person's unique. Every person has their own their own thing. Every person has their own unique personality. There's billions of people in this world, and no two of them are exactly alike. So in a metaphorical sense, and I mean I use the word soul all the time. You've got a good soul, or I mean I just don't use it in the biblical sense. But yeah, it's a word I use all the time. So people have, metaphorically speaking, people have a soul, yeah, just not in the biblical sense, which kind of, I guess, answers the question 6. Do you believe in the possibility that God exists? And I see where it's worded a little. It's not do you believe God exists, it's do you believe in the possibility that God exists. So it's almost a part A and B. No, I don't believe God exists, and no, I don't believe in the possibility that God exists. Number 7, have you ever gone bungee jumping? No, I haven't. I've got kind of an adventurous spirit, but I think I would jump out of an airplane with a parachute, of course, before I would go bungee jumping. For one reason, if I ever did a swimming pool that, well, none of them have diving boards anymore. Isn't that nuts? Liability issues, it's just crazy. Anyway, when they used to have diving boards, I just have an aversion to diving head first. I get up on high dive, I say I'm going to dive head first, and I'll be feet first every single time. So I would be a little bit afraid that if I went bungee jumping, that for some odd reason, it's just some weird psychological thing, I would probably jump and still be feet first. And I don't think that would work too good, bungee jumping. I think that, if you went bungee jumping and had the cord tied to your feet and were feet first, when you got to the end of your rope, it's going to snap your body back around. And so I really wouldn't trust myself to go bungee jumping for that reason. But diving, skydiving, yeah, I can go feet first on that one. So maybe someday. Definitely, if I knew I just had a short while to live and I was, able to get in a wheelchair and go up there or whatever, yeah, I would do the skydiving thing. Still wouldn't do the bungee jumping, even if I knew I just had a short time to live, because the little snap deal, that would be kind of painful if I went feet first and get snapped back around. Number 8, if you could solve one and only one world problem, what would that be? Let's see here. You know what? One thing that really totally bugs me, is people who throw their chewing gum down on the sidewalk, down on the pavement, and I seem to be the one that steps in all this crap all the time. And there's just an example right there. And if this wasn't some prop gun and a prop shoe, it would have stuck a little better than it did. It was supposed to stick really good, and I was supposed to just have a hard time pulling it off. But I assure you that I have a lot of shoes in the past with gum stuck on them that takes hours to dig out. This gum here is, I don't know, it's a Zytrol gum. Anyway, it doesn't stick you. That's one reason I buy this gum here, minus all the grass and all. I even went outside and mashed this in there and tried to get it to stick good. I figured a little dirt and grass would grind it in there, but no such luck. But anyway, this gum here, it doesn't stick to your teeth very, very much. So therefore, it doesn't stick to this shoe very much. But yeah, that would be the one world problem that it's really a pressing issue. That would be the one world problem I would solve. I would solve the problem of people throwing their gum out just nilly-willy everywhere. Bad people. Okay, moving on. Number 9. Do you believe there might be aliens out there who have visited Earth from time to time? Yeah, there's aliens out there. There's just tons of aliens out there, but they're way out there. Way out there. Just multiple, maybe billion, I don't know, lots of light years away anyway. I don't know how many, just lots of them. But I don't think they've ever one single time visited the Earth. It would be cool if they had, maybe, if they were, friendlies, but no, they're too far out there. Did you have a pet growing up? Yes, I did. Number 11, is there a circumstance that would warrant the death penalty? Let me show you just a few pictures right here. Okay, I don't know if anybody knew what that actually was or not, but what that is, it's people who do not put their shopping carts back up at parking lots. They don't put them back where they're supposed to be. They unload their groceries or whatever and just leave their shopping carts just right there. And they run off and they hit my van. They hit my van and they dent it up just severely sometimes. So, yeah, people that don't put their shopping carts back up, they deserve the death penalty. And also, if those same people, if I was to see some person throw their gum out on the ground and then not put their shopping cart back up, they would deserve to be shot in the kneecap first when they put the gum down, and then when they leave the shopping cart there, just knock them off just right then. Knee shot for the gum, head shot for the shopping cart. I think that, yeah, definitely. Okay, moving on here. If you could have a super sense, what would it be? Sight, smell, hearing, touch, taste. Let's see. Gotta be sight. Smell. Yeah, the other ones would be cool too, but the sight's the super sight. Got to be smell. It would have its upsides and downsides on smell. I think you know what I mean. Taste. It also would have its upsides and downsides. Touch. I don't know how much of a super. That would probably be my last. Touch would be my last choice on that. What you could pick up dimes better or something. I don't really know. Hearing, of course, obviously, yeah, it would be good to have super hearing, but got to be sight. Number 13, if somebody offered you enough money to live for the rest of your life, how much would be enough? This is a loaded question. It truly is. I'm tempted to say, I don't know, Well, I would invest it and get, draw interest. It would have to be enough to live off the interest, because I just wouldn't want to touch the principal. So I wouldn't want to, draw down to zero at the end of my life. I would still want to have money. And if I did have money left there at the end, I would like to donate it to a nature conservancy. Because that's, I think, I just want to get that in here. The most charitable, worthwhile cause in existence is nature conservancies. That's the only thing that's going to save us in the end. The environment is very important, and if somebody doesn't own the land, they prevent it from being developed, it will be developed, and it's just too much overdevelopment in the world. Okay, and I haven't finished with that one there, but I have lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the money. Okay, we'll say. I think enough. That implies that you just want to scrape by, which is fine with me. Give me a DSL connection, roof over my head, I'm fine. $1 million, invest it, get a little dab of interest, and live a subsistence life with a DSL connection. Yeah, no problem with that. But on the other hand, like I got, was saying there at first, loaded question. Yeah, it's a loaded question. What if I was to win the lottery, huh? What if I was to win $200 million in the lottery? And I'm on record here saying $1 million is enough for me. So there I am, 199 million excess dollars. Well, what if somebody comes to me and says, well, you ought to give me $5 or $6 million. You don't need it. Now, what's to tell them? Well, of course I need it. I mean, it's my money. And then they're going to look back at this video. They're going to throw this $1 million thing right back in my face. They're going to say, well, you've already said all you need is $1 million. And, you've got all this extra money. Give me some extra money. So no, I need $200 million. Now, I'm going to cover my butt in case I ever win the lottery. I'm going to say I need $200 million. That will be enough. Except I don't ever enter the lottery, but I still feel, even though I don't enter the lottery, I still feel that I have just as much chance of winning the lottery as the vast majority of people do. So yeah, $200 million, that'll be enough. 14, how old do you think you'll be when you die? Okay, the oldest people in the world, on average, it seems like they're always like around 120 years old before they shuffle off this earth. So I'm like 90% of the people in the world. I like to think of myself as above average. So I would have to say 135. Yeah, I think I'm enough above average to where I ought to be able to tack 10 years onto the average longest person. So 135, yeah, that's what it is, 135. Okay, 15, what time did you go to bed last night? I went to bed at 6 a.m. last night. 16, if I ask you what the top 3 things you like about yourself, if I ask you what's the top 3 things you like about yourself, what would those be? Okay, number 1, I would like to think I'm a reasonably creative person, number 1. Number 2, I have 3, is that all I get, just 3 things? My gosh, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. I'll do 4. Kind of creative, I'll go with that. Number 2, I really like the fact that I find it almost impossible to be bored. The only time I can be bored just about is if I'm in an entrapment situation, like if I'm in a long line somewhere, if I'm in a doctor's office, sometimes maybe if I'm in a family get-together, that type of entrapment situation. Otherwise, no, I'm never bored, so I like that. And as far as the family get-together thing, if there's any family members watching this, I'm not talking about your family get-together. I'm talking about the other side, the other side of the family. That's the entrapment situation there. The other side. You're the person that's watching me. Your get-togethers are just wonderful. I love them. Great food, great conversation, great people. Love yours. It's the other side. And also, that's just 2 things. Traveler 1967. Now I'm not flipping you bird. Like you've seen this before. You've seen this fingernail here before. And I should put it on macro mode or something, but I can't. And I have trimmed my fingernails, so I don't want everybody to think that I've got really long fingernails. But I knew I was going to make this video, so I thought I would just leave this alone. That's my perfect fingernail. So that's one of the 3 things there that I like about myself. And the fourth thing, but not necessarily the last thing I like about myself, I like my sense of. I think I've got a really a better than average sense of humility. Yeah, I think both in quality and quantity, I think that my sense of humility is just much better than the average person's sense of humility. And I would say that my sense of humility would be my best quality if it wasn't for the fact that all the other qualities which I've already mentioned are just so good. If they wasn't quite so good, my sense of humility would be my best quality. Number 17. If you could have any profession in the world and it would support you, what would that job be? I got to take this as a two-parter here. The real job, fantasy job. Real job. I would like to. Be in the creative department of an ad agency. Except I wouldn't want any deadline pressure. So in a way, I guess that even though that would be a real job, it would almost qualify as a fantasy job because of that last little stipulation. Yeah, I would like to think that if I was in advertising, that I could come up with something as good as, and this comes back to the bungee jumping again. Here a few years ago, there was an advertisement on TV where there was these two pair of shoes on top of a bridge. Well, the shoes had people inserted into them. They're on top of the bridge. But, okay, there was these two pair of shoes with people inserted into them, or two people with shoes on, however you want to say it. The two people, top of a bridge, and, on the bridge, not maybe not on top. Anyway, two people on a bridge with bungee cords on them. One of them was a pair of probably Nike shoes. I will say it's my Nike shoes. Anyway, these Nike shoes, you could blow them up. I mean, they had a little thing a little pump where you'd pump them and they'd have a nice tight fit and all. And both of these two people jumped off the bridge with the bungees, and the person without the good tight fitting shoes, he just come out of his shoes, and it just showed there on the screen just a pair of shoes just hanging there by the bungee cord with no person inserted into it, and of course the guy with the Nikes, he was fine. And you know what? They pulled that commercial. That commercial ran like for, I don't know, it was either a couple of weeks or maybe 4 or 5 errands or something. And people called in and complained, and they pulled that commercial. Can you believe that? I still can't believe that they pulled that commercial. I mean, there's stupid people out there. It would be nice if the stupid people didn't rule the world. It would be nice if George Bush wasn't president because, he's the king of the stupid people. So, I think every person, I will guarantee every single person that called in and complained about that commercial voted for George Bush. There's no doubt in my mind. Okay, I probably said too much about that. Haters out there everywhere. Yeah, you got to be a hater. Only a hater would do that. Fantasy job. And UpDownMostly, I think this... You know what? I think this might be your fantasy job too. I don't know why. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. Fantasy job. I would like to have a magic television, and on this television, I would like to have a money dispenser and a place where I could insert ideas, like one slot where I could print out ideas, insert them in one slot. Like I could watch just all kind of manner of just whatever TV shows. Commercials, news programs, sitcoms, dramas, just everything, just anything I wanted to watch. And if I had an idea how to make that better or different or whatever, better sounds better. If I had an idea how to make that show or commercial or whatever better, I could insert it into one slot. I could insert my idea into one slot, and then out of the other slot would pop cold hard cash. And it would be commensurate. Ever how good my idea was, the better idea I had, the more cash would come out the other slot. And it would be, just for every show, just everything that is on TV, I could do that for. That would be my fantasy job. I need that TV. I would love to have that TV. Okay, number 18. If you could go back in time only once, where would you go and when? Yes, you can come back when you're done. Okay, the one thing that's been done kind of to death, and I'll just briefly cover that. One thing that's been done kind of to death is if you could go back and kill Hitler, would you? So I'll just touch on that because I'm not really that much about going back and killing people. I don't care who it is. But what I would do, and besides that, that question's been asked so many times. I'm sure that other people, a multitude of other people, are already in preparation to go back and do that. So I don't like to be a copycat, and so I'm not going to go back and kill Hitler because there's other people already going to do that. But if I was going to, I'm a more subtle person than that. I would go back, and I don't really think this is original, though. I think surely to goodness, a lot of other people have said this. I suppose I would go back and buy Hitler's artwork. Hitler was an artist. If people, a failed artist, if people had gone back and bought his artwork, the course of history would have been changed. He would, and I mean, everybody's got an ego. He would have liked it. He would have made a living at it. He would have kept painting. So instead of millions and millions and millions of people being killed, if people had only bought Hitler's artwork, the course of history would have been changed forever. And that's food for thought. Food for thought. If you're at some kind of art bazaar or walking along the beach or pier or wherever artisans hang out, and you just keep bypassing crappy painting after crappy painting and not buying them. And I'm not saying this because I'm an artist or anything. I'm not capable of painting a crappy painting. I'm not capable of painting a good painting either, but crappy good. I'm not capable of painting. But so anyway, food for thought. If you're bypassing all this crappy artwork, think twice about it. Think twice about not buying that crappy artwork, especially if it's a slightly crazy-looking little short person with a funny-looking mustache or anything. Maybe just think twice about it. So where does that leave us? Where would I go back in time to, and what would I do, and why would I do it, and all that kind of good stuff? Yeah, it's probably no secret I'm not a big fan of George Bush. And like I said, on the Hitler deal, I'm all about subtlety. I would go back and buy his art. Now, what could I do? What could I do to go back in time and prevent George Bush from being president? I mean, here we have a guy who has screwed up everything he's ever done in his whole life, and yet he still managed to become president. So if I was to go back in time and somehow make him screw up even worse, looks like he would still become president because that's how it went anyway. So what can I do? I could go back in time. He owned the baseball team in Texas, which he wasn't too successful with. Maybe if they won the championship or something, maybe he wouldn't have gone into politics. I don't know how I could have made the Texas Rangers win a championship. They were pretty bad. He was a failed oil man. Could I have gone back in time and I guess we could assume if I had the superpowers of going back in time, I would also have the superpowers of knowing where to drill for oil. I don't know, but something tells me if I had pointed out where a gusher would be, that he probably wouldn't have listened to me. So I just don't really think that I could have made him be a successful oil man and caused him to stay into that business instead of going into politics. So I guess that pretty much throws me with the superpower. Maybe like I say, if I have the superpower, go back in time. I've got other superpowers. We will assume. So I'll have sacks full of money. So I don't know. I guess I go down to Florida. And that the election where Al Gore actually beat him, and I just a few hundred votes. I mean, that's all it took. Was just would just be a few hundred votes. Go down to Florida, a few sacks full of money. And just buy some votes. I think I wouldn't ordinarily advocate buying votes, but yeah, I think I would do that. I would. Yeah, go back in time, go to Florida, buy votes, buy just ever how many it takes, and change the course of history. Okay, so that's what I would do. That's where I would go. And besides that, Florida, Florida in November? It's still warm enough to go in the water in Florida in November. Go to Florida, buy votes, go to the beach, kick back, confident in the fact that I have done the world a good deed. 19. What's your favorite meal? Love baby back ribs. So baby back ribs, baked potato, garlic bread, or a yeast roll. Big fluffy yeast rolls are good. And if not baby back ribs, love T-bone steaks, love prime rib, either one. Okay, number 20. If you wanted to tell me something that not many people know about you, what would it be? Gosh, I've already said so much online. I've got, I don't know, 109 videos or something. The first thing I did was Endless Joe's 50 question thing, so I've already told just tons of stuff, and there's tons of stuff that I don't want to tell about myself. One thing I've not put out there, and this is just kind of stupid, for many years, like 25 years, I've had not really a severe, but a little bit of case of eczema on both elbows. Here, let me just, maybe I'll give you an example right there. Yeah. How Norna-ish, huh? Okay. Anyway, I've had eczema. Now you probably couldn't see it. Anyway, I've had eczema on both elbows for like 25 years. Equally bad for 25 years. About 2 years ago, I broke my left collarbone, and even before the collarbone healed, the eczema on my left elbow. There's my left elbow. 100% healed up and has never came back since. So, all you people out there with eczema, all you got to do is, break a bone, just break a bone in close proximity, and your mileage may vary. Maybe it'll heal up, maybe it won't. That said, I don't plan on breaking my right collarbone to see if the eczema on my right shoulder heals up. And really, thank you UpDownMostly for not putting this question as the number 10 question, which would throw that as my center frame. If that was the number 10 question, yeah, that right there, you get 100% chance that would be the center frame, that would be the thumbnail for this. And I've tried to talk fast. I've tried to get it all done. I know this one guy did a 3-part, and I thank that guy for doing a 3-part, like, I don't know, 30-minute deal, because it's sort of like people, if you're kind of a little bit chunky, you like to sit next to somebody that's really fat, and where that makes you look a little bit skinnier. So this other guy I noticed did 3-part, maybe close to 30 minutes. So mine's going to be way less than 30 minutes. So thank you. I don't know your name right now, but anyway, thank you for doing a one longer than mine, because every one of these things I ever have done in my whole life, and my whole life my whole YouTube life consistent of like 5 months. Mine's always been the longest. This time it's not the longest. I mean, even though yours is chopped up into 3 bits there, if you add it together, yours is a lot longer than mine. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you UpDownMostly. I've had fun doing this. I love these 20 questions ones here. I did a 5-question one time, and I liked it. But then since then, the questions just haven't piqued my interest that much. But something about these 20 great questions UpDown. Okay. And keep up the good job. Love your work. I don't know how you do it. I do not know how you put out as many video responses as you do, and makes so much sense. I mean, truly, just brilliant stuff. Okay. Bye, everybody.